So I was at the store the other day. You know how I like to flashback to my own life. Like I was at the store the other day, and I was parked in. Tell me if I'm crazy.
Okay.
I'm parked in a spot. I know I'm not. I was just saying that for a fact. Okay, so I'm in the spot, and I'm in the spot like parked head in. Okay, so when I come out of the store, if I need to use my trunk, it's right there, and I can open the trunk and put my items that I recently purchased into the trunk. Right. So
like Christmas gifts.
Yeah, like Christmas gifts or steak. So so I get in my car, and I'm in a parking lot of a store. Lots of cars, not a lot of visibility. Right.
Right.
So I do what the responsible driver does, and I put it in reverse, and I slowly drift out until I can see, what's coming. And obviously I can see like my immediate rear peripheral is clear, so I slowly start backing out. So I want to say I got maybe like back to the passenger seat, backed out. Right. So I'm like, okay, I can add a mile an hour or two and start coming out, because obviously anybody who's coming should see me at this point.
Right.
So I'm about halfway out, and this lady in this truck, I don't know how fast she was going, but it was clearly too fast, slams on her brakes and beeps the horn at me.
Oh.
So I'm like, I was like, I know somebody's not beeping at me. So I pull out, right, and I'm backing out, and she's like getting all mad. And I'm like, really? You're in a parking lot. It's a parking lot. It's not a speeding lot. It's not a drive as fast as you can until you hit somebody lot. It's a parking lot. So me, as the parked person, you see me backing out. Clearly, I can't see you yet. What are you doing?
Right.
So I'm getting irritated. So I continue to back out, right? So I'm backing out far enough so that because she's right there. She's now pulled like up to my car. So now I have to back up far enough that I can, in one turn, get my car going the direction that I need to go. So since there's a camera, I guess I can demonstrate. So she's I'm trying to do it like, okay, I'll do it. I'll reverse it. Okay. I was trying to do it the way I was actually facing. Right. Okay, so here's me. Here's her. She's like up on my car. So now I got to back up.
She can't back up? Or she won't back up?
Oh, she won't back up.
Okay.
So I had to basically pull my car back enough so that I could turn and go. I can only go one direction because she's blocking the other direction. So now I have to back all the way up as far as I can so that I'm not having to like 3-point turn or anything. So I back up. This bitch goes, pulls around me pulls around the front of my car. Doesn't wait for me to finish turning my car so that I can pull out. Pulls in front of my car. This was one of those instances where I had to like sit there and debate to myself.
You got your blood boiling.
Should I follow her until she gets where she's going, stop, and get out of my car? And I'm like, you're in a big ass truck.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Wait, are you gonna kill somebody? Like, you're in a parking lot. She whips around me, and after she whips around me, there's another car trying to park and pulls in front of her, like parking, because it's a fucking parking lot. And people are parking their cars, so you're not supposed to be speeding around the thing. So she stops there. And this is the dumbest part of it. She pulls around that set of cars. She pulls around because she's trying to go to the store that I'm trying to get out of. What the fuck is your hurry if you're just parking to go in the store? And then from the other side of the lot, she could have just pulled into that section and parked over there. There was like half the lot was empty. And I'm like, what did you, I was like flipping. In my head, I'm flipping. I'm like, okay, you can't beat this lady up.
Right, yeah.
That's not right. And then as I calmed down, I drove away. I was like, you're too old for this. Yeah. You got a baby at home, you can't be going to jail for beating up some lady in the parking lot. That's not cool. So I go, I'm driving down the road, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, because I'm mad the whole ride home. Right. So I'm like, okay, here's how you reason yourself down. I was like, if I'd have got out the car, there's a good possibility this lady had a gun. She might have beat me with a bat or something. Yeah, she might have been crazy. Yeah. So I'm driving home, I'm thinking, okay, you're still alive. Your day can improve. Don't even worry about this. It took a while.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm really like, people are that crazy. Like, you could get out of your car to the most unsuspecting person and they might kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you got road rage, and you think that there's nothing that can happen to me because I'm so angry that I'm invincible.
Turn into the Hulk.
And then somebody shoots you. And then you Hulk down.
And then you lay in the street bleeding, and you're like, I didn't expect it to go that way.
How did this happen?
How did I get here?
Why am I laying on the ground, bleeding out?
And you know what? That's funny, because now I can flash back to this afternoon when
Intense road rage appeared.
Yeah, actually, it was. Well, this is what happened. My nephew went to Cancun, so he was like, "Can I borrow your gym bag?" I gave him my gym bag, and he's been gone, so I need a gym bag.
Right.
So I go to the store this morning, and I get me a bag, and I'm standing in line, and this guy comes behind, 20-something. Basketball gear on,
right?
Standing next to and I see him walk up. He's looking at my stuff, like he's looking at my shoes. He's looking at my watch.
Just walked up.
Just looking at me. Just looking at like
peeking through your stuff.
Just looking at me. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at him, looking at me, and I'm like, really? And then he gets real close to me. So I'm like, okay. Now I gotta pay attention to my wallet because he's behind me, and I can't.
Like, you got some nice shit.
Like, I don't want to turn myself to be defensive.
I gotta want your stuff.
Yeah, and I know that. I know that feeling.
I know that dude.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn my back, and because I know he don't have nothing.
Right.
So whatever he does, okay, whatever.
Right. We just have to go.
So now I'm thinking about this. I kind of want to go because he's walking up on me like.
Right.
You know. So all right. So I get every time I turn a little bit to kind of check where he's at.
Right.
He's behind me. You know how you get into a line where there's racks of stuff?
Right.
I turn to where he can't fit behind me.
Right.
He gets behind me close to the rack, and I'm like, he don't want me to see him now. He does not want me to see him.
That would have been a problem for me.
Yo.
I'd have just walked away.
I'm in line, right? So I'm like, all right.
Wait, where were you in line at again?
This was Dick's.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right. You know how they got the bubble gum and they got the magazines and stuff? So I turn, and there's other people behind him. So it's like people are talking, and I'm like, all right, let me just turn sideways right here.
Right.
I'm next. He's going to have to be next to me. So I turn sideways. He's still behind me. I'm like, all right, this is it. As soon as we get out of this store, there's going to be something.
We're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm not going to try to get him in my eye view.
Maybe he just thought you was cute.
He was looking at my shoes. He was like, I like your Jordan. So I was like, all right. So she was like, the lady was like, all right, next. So I walk up, and then I kind of go slow,
right?
Because I'm like, I don't want to get out and then have to wait.
Right, right.
So I'm slow. He gets to the next register, and I forgot what he was getting. He was getting something small. So I get out front, and I'm like, I'm trying to slow down, so because I want to see what he's thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm standing out on the curb. I'm like, let me walk a little bit, so this can be like a parking lot thing. So I'm kind of creeping slow, and he comes out, and he's standing there looking. And I'm like, I'm not walking slow like strangely I've been walking slow. But I'm taking my time to get in my car, and I get to the trunk, and I open it up, and I toss it in, and he starts to walk slowly down. So I'm like, all right, let me spend some extra time in my trunk. And he walks real slow. He's still looking at me like, I want your stuff.
Right.
And then he just makes a right and gets into a car and just...
It just leave?
It was just so awkward.
What are you doing?
And you know what? That would have been the perfect opportunity to get something out of his car.
Right. Yep.
And come and get my stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, you can't do that. You can't be fighting ladies in the parking lot. You can't be waiting for people in the parking lot.
I tried to fight this lady one time in this parking lot. My brother was there. He had to stop me. I was gonna kill her. Yeah, she took my spot, and it was Christmas, and we was in the mall parking lot.
Cut you off?
Oh man, I was waiting for the spot for like 5 minutes, and she cut me off and pulled into the spot. Oh, I was ready to fight her.
Are you serious?
It was two ladies and this dude, and I got out of my car. This time I got out of my car, and I was flipping. I was like, "Yo, you took my spot." Like, I'm not gonna repeat with that exuberance that I was ready. Yeah, I flipped out, and the dude was standing there. And he was standing there with a look on his face like, I'm not going to do anything. you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stand here and I'm not gonna do anything.
Right.
That's what he looked like. And I'm yelling at this lady like, yo, you gonna move your car. And I wasn't gonna leave until she moved her car.
Right.
I was ready to fight. My brother's like, yo, don't worry about, yo, calm down, man. You don't worry about it. I was like, yo, man, she saw me sitting there, like I was flipping, and nothing happened.
She didn't move?
Oh no, she didn't move.
Okay.
Nah. She was hoodish. She wasn't going anywhere.
Off.
Oh, she didn't even care. She was whatever. I don't care, basically. I'm standing there yelling, looking like an asshole, and she's walking away after she parked in my spot, like whatever.
Which is the move. It's
Yeah,
just
that's whatever, yo. I got your spot. That's the attitude she had with me. Whatever, yo.
You almost crashed into me? Whatever.
I got your spot. What? I'm gonna walk away because you ain't gonna do shit. Because we're in the parking lot. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Shit.
Nothing happened.
That's how women get beat up for the first time. We're like, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit.
For the first time.
Fuck you. You ain't gonna do shit.
Because the next time
Remember
they're like,
remember that Chris Rock special?
Yeah. You shake her.
Shake the shit out of her. Yeah, so anyway. Stop taking people's spots, ladies.
Yeah, and when people are acting crazy, you don't have to act crazy with them.
Don't get killed.
No.
I've learned a lesson. Don't get killed. I'm not dead yet.
Stuff happens.
Let it go.